Imagine waking up one day and realizing that years have slipped by, yet nothing in your life has truly evolved. The dreams you once cherished have faded into the background, the goals you set have become distant memories, and the vibrant future you once envisioned feels more like a fantasy than a possibility. You feel stuck, merely existing rather than living, waiting for a change that never comes. Have you ever wondered why this happens? Why do some people take bold, transformative steps, while others remain caught in a cycle of hesitation and inaction? The answer lies in a powerful yet silent force: passivity. It is an invisible trap that keeps you from making the changes you know you need to make. The harsh reality? Many people remain ensnared by it for their entire lives. Passivity is not merely the absence of action. It is a deep-seated psychological pattern that keeps you stagnant. It often disguises itself as patience, overthinking, or the illusion of caution. On the surface, it might seem harmless. After all, isn't it wise to be careful before making big decisions? But beneath this surface, passivity is a slow, corrosive force. It holds you in unfulfilling situations, allows fear to dictate your choices, and convinces you that waiting is the safest path, even when action is the only real solution. Where does passivity come from? Why do some people charge forward, while others freeze in place? The answer lies in how our experiences shape our mindset. Psychologists have examined this phenomenon for decades, and Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, offers a compelling explanation through his concept of learned helplessness. In a well-known experiment, Seligman exposed dogs to repeated, uncontrollable negative experiences. Over time, the dogs stopped trying to escape, even when presented with a clear path to freedom. They had learned that their actions made no difference, leading them to accept their circumstances without resistance. Humans react similarly. When faced with repeated failure, rejection, or discouragement, we begin to believe that our efforts are futile. This belief seeps into our mindset, influencing our behavior and ultimately creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. We stop trying, not because we lack ability, but because we've convinced ourselves that success is beyond reach. However, failure and hardship are not the only roots of passivity. One of the most dangerous causes is something far more subtle: comfort. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to settle into a routine even when that routine lacks fulfillment? The human brain is wired for safety and predictability. In our ancestral past, this instinct helped ensure survival by avoiding unnecessary risks. But in today's world, this once beneficial survival mechanism can become a prison. We become comfortable with the familiar, even when it is not aligned with our true desires. Days blend into weeks, weeks into years, and suddenly, life has quietly passed us by. The true danger of passivity lies in its quiet nature. It does not sound alarms or flash warnings. Instead, it whispers that there is still time, that tomorrow will be the day to start, that the perfect moment is just around the corner. But here's the harsh truth: there is no perfect moment. There is only now, and the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free from passivity's grip. So, what is the real cost of allowing hesitation and inaction to take control of your life? Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, offered a profound perspective on what drives human beings in his book, Man's Search for Meaning. Contrary to Sigmund Freud's belief that pleasure is our primary drive, or Friedrich Nietzsche's view that power is the ultimate goal, Frankl argued that the true driving force behind human behavior is meaning. When people lack a sense of meaning, they drift through life, feeling empty and stagnant. Nothing erodes meaning more effectively than passivity. Think about it. When was the last time you felt genuinely alive? Was it during a moment of hesitation, waiting, and avoiding challenges? Or was it when you took a bold step outside your comfort zone, pursued something meaningful, and embraced the unknown? The truth is, meaning is not found in passivity. It is created through action. If passivity is so harmful, why do so many of us remain trapped in it? Why do we hesitate even when we know that action is the only path forward? The answer lies in a concept known as the comfort trap. At first glance, comfort seems desirable. Who wouldn't want to feel safe, secure, and at ease? But here's the paradox. The more comfortable we become, the less likely we are to take the risks necessary for growth. Comfort feels good in the moment, but it often comes at the cost of long-term fulfillment. Have you ever stayed in a job you disliked because it was easier than starting fresh? Have you remained in a relationship that no longer brought you happiness simply because change felt overwhelming? This is the comfort trap at work. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than facing the unknown. The truth, however, is that the greatest regrets in life often stem not from our mistakes, but from the chances we never take. Psychologists explain this through our evolutionary wiring. Our ancestors needed predictability to survive, avoiding risks that could threaten their lives. But in the modern world, this instinct can hold us back. Instead of avoiding danger, we often end up avoiding opportunity. Imagine standing at the edge of a major decision, knowing that taking action could transform your life, yet you hesitate. You tell yourself you need more time, that the conditions are not right, that tomorrow will be the day. But tomorrow becomes next week, then next year, and before you know it, nothing has changed. This is passivity, a silent, invisible force that keeps many people stuck in unfulfilling lives. Passivity often disguises itself as patience or caution. It tells you to wait for the perfect moment. But here's the harsh truth. There is no perfect moment. There is only now, and the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take action. The difference between those who transform their lives and those who remain stuck is not intelligence, talent, or luck. It is the willingness to take action despite the fear. So, how do you break free from passivity and start living a life filled with meaning? One powerful strategy comes from Mel Robbins, a motivational speaker and author. She introduced the 5-second rule, a simple yet highly effective technique. When you feel the instinct to act on a goal, count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, then move. Do not give your mind the chance to hesitate. Do not allow fear to creep in. Take action before your brain convinces you to do otherwise. This technique works because it interrupts the cycle of overthinking and propels you into action. By creating a small window between intention and action, you bypass the mental barriers that often lead to inaction. Another crucial strategy is shifting your focus from motivation to discipline. Many people wait to feel motivated before taking action, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you depend on it, you will always struggle to maintain consistent progress. Instead, discipline is what creates real change. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you do not feel like it. It means making decisions based on your goals, not your emotions. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, offers a simple yet powerful principle. Success is not about making massive changes overnight, but about committing to small, consistent actions over time. Improving by just 1% each day leads to extraordinary results as those tiny gains compound over time. The danger of passivity is that it works in the exact opposite way. Small moments of hesitation and avoidance also compound, leading to a life filled with regret. Passivity is not just about big decisions, It creeps into everyday moments. It is the hesitation before speaking up in a meeting, the delay before starting a workout, or the endless scrolling on social media instead of focusing on meaningful tasks. Each instance of passivity strengthens the habit of inaction, making it increasingly difficult to change. Self-awareness is crucial to breaking this cycle. You need to ask yourself, what am I continually postponing? Where am I letting fear or comfort dictate my choices? What could my life look like if I stopped hesitating and started acting? Before diving into the most effective strategy to overcome passivity, it is essential to understand a hidden force that keeps millions stuck in unfulfilling lives. Recognizing this force will change how you view passivity forever. Surprisingly, the root cause of passivity is not fear, laziness, or a lack of motivation. It is something far more insidious: identity paralysis. Identity paralysis occurs when you unconsciously define yourself by your current limitations rather than your potential. It is the mindset of, "This is just the way I am," or "I've always been this way." When you believe your personality, habits, and behaviors are fixed, change feels impossible. Consider this. If you see yourself as someone who lacks discipline, how likely are you to stick to a new habit? If you believe you are not a natural leader, will you ever step up when confidence is needed? If you convince yourself that you are bad at making decisions, will you ever take control of your life? Your identity shapes your actions, and your actions ultimately shape your future. Many people remain stuck in passivity not because they cannot change, but because they do not believe they can. Psychologist Carol Dweck's research on mindset highlights two distinct approaches: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. Those with a fixed mindset believe their abilities, intelligence, and character traits are set in stone. They avoid challenges, fearing failure will expose their limitations. In contrast, those with a growth mindset understand that they can develop and improve through effort and learning. They embrace challenges, seeing failure not as a reflection of their worth, but as a stepping stone to growth. Here lies the critical insight. Passivity thrives in a fixed mindset. If you believe your circumstances define you, you will never take action to change them. However, when you shift to a growth mindset, realizing that every skill, trait, and ability can be developed, passivity loses its grip on you. So, how do you make this shift? How do you break free from the identity paralysis that keeps you stuck in passivity? The answer lies in embracing identity-based action. In Atomic Habits, James Clear emphasizes that true change doesn't come from merely setting goals. It comes from transforming the way you see yourself. Instead of fixating on what you want to achieve, focus on who you need to become. If you aspire to be a confident person, start behaving like one. If discipline is your goal, make decisions that a disciplined person would make. Every small action is a vote for the person you are becoming. This is why action must precede motivation. Many people mistakenly believe they need to feel ready before taking action, but the truth is that action itself generates motivation. Each small step forward shifts your identity, prompting you to see yourself differently. Once this shift occurs, momentum builds naturally. However, passivity is not only about mindset or identity, it is also about emotional resistance. Often, taking action triggers deep discomfort. It might be the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, or even the fear of leaving behind an old version of yourself. Neuroscientists have found that the brain responds to psychological threats in the same way it reacts to physical danger. When you contemplate stepping outside your comfort zone, your brain perceives it as a threat, activating the amygdala, the part responsible for fear and survival instincts. This is why action often feels so daunting. Your brain isn't sabotaging you. It is attempting to shield you from uncertainty. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to act despite it. Every time you take action in the face of fear, you rewire your brain. You teach it that discomfort is not a threat, building what neuroscientists call psychological flexibility, the ability to move forward even when you don't feel entirely ready. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. If passivity is rooted in mindset, identity, and emotional resistance, what is the ultimate strategy to break free? The answer is simple, yet many people never realize it. And once you do, everything changes. The ultimate way to overcome passivity is to embrace radical responsibility. Radical responsibility means fully accepting that your life is in your hands. No more waiting, no more excuses, and no more blaming circumstances, other people, or even your past. It involves acknowledging that no one is coming to save you, and that every choice you make, or fail to make, is shaping your future. This truth can be difficult to accept because it strips away every justification for inaction. However, it is also the most liberating truth you will ever embrace. Once you take full responsibility, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for life to change and start actively changing your life. But here is where most people stumble. They believe taking responsibility means figuring everything out at once. They think they need a flawless plan, complete confidence, and absolute certainty before taking action. This is yet another trap. The truth is, action creates clarity, not the other way around. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, once shared a powerful insight about decision-making. If you wait for 100% certainty before making a decision, you will always be too late. He explained that in life, you will never have perfect information or feel fully ready. Instead, if you can make a decision with even 70% of the information available, you should act, because action leads to learning, and learning leads to better decisions. This is why successful people are not those who have everything figured out. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty. They start before they feel ready, take small steps, learn from experience, and adjust along the way. One of the biggest reasons people remain passive is the fear of failure. They fear it so much that they would rather do nothing than risk making a mistake. However, failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential part of it. Thomas Edison, when asked about his repeated failures while inventing the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This is the mindset of every successful person throughout history. They understand that failure is not a measure of their worth or ability, but simply feedback, valuable information that guides them forward. The only true failure is refusing to try. So, how do you break free from passivity and start living with purpose and momentum? First, eliminate the notion that you need to feel motivated before taking action. Motivation is a result of action, not a prerequisite for it. Instead of waiting to feel inspired, make action a non-negotiable habit. Second, redefine your identity. Stop seeing yourself as someone who struggles with action or as someone who has always been this way. Your past does not define your future. Decide today that you are a person of action and prove it through your behavior. Third, lower the barrier to action. Many people remain stuck because they believe they need to take massive steps. The truth is, progress comes from small, consistent actions. If something feels overwhelming, break it down. Want to start a new project? Spend just 5 minutes on it. Want to build a new habit? Begin with the simplest possible version. Small steps lead to big changes. Finally, commit to making decisions faster. Overthinking is one of the biggest contributors to passivity. The longer you hesitate, the more doubt and fear take control. Set a rule for yourself. When faced with a decision, give yourself a short window to decide, whether it's 5 seconds, 5 minutes, or 1 day. Then, take action and move forward. At the end of the day, life rewards action. Opportunities do not wait, and neither does time. The future is being shaped right now by the choices you make. So, the real question is, what will you do next? Will you continue to wait, overthink, and hesitate? Or will you take control, step forward, and start creating the life you truly want? The choice is yours, and that choice, more than anything else, will determine your future.